Subscribe to MDR. Like for more.
The minions are cute. I like them. And it doesn't matter to me if some people find them creepy. It's true that the Teletubbies were creepy, but minions, not so much. I've seen Despicable Me 1 and 2 countless times, but the third film I've only seen once, which was at the cinema when it was released, and then never again. Moreover, I missed out on the whole Minions wave in 2015 anyway. So, although this video is technically about a sequel to the first Minions film, I will still consider myself qualified to critique the film based upon the fact that Gru, even when he was a child, and the Minions are present. Which is the lineup for pretty much all Despicable Me/Minion films, right? So, what did I think of the latest Minions film? Come on, let's find out. It is typical of Despicable Me movies that a new character or characters cause chaos and somehow wind up tying into the Minions and their big boss Gru. With its introduction, Minions: The Rise of Gru could almost be marketed as Despicable Me 4, in that it would be a prequel film. It happens all the time. For example, Red Dead Redemption 2 comes before the first and ends exactly at the point where the first begins. It creates a neat loop, taking you back to the franchise again and again. But that doesn't work here. It is obvious that Illumination cannot end the Minions franchise just like that. They won't do so until they're bankrupt. Not creatively, which is almost nearing, but financially. Each entry in Minions grows more messy because references and context aren't added organically, but rather based on hindsight. So in a strange way, the new Minions films seem rather unfamiliar despite the many familiar faces and tropes from the previous entries. Of course, no one can deny that Minions is a popular franchise, especially since The Rise of Gru has earned over $800 million in less than a month. It's not something you see every day. A big studio film like The Batman makes that kind of money, and that felt like it was the biggest film of the year. Apart from that, I really like the Minions films not so much because of the Minions or Gru, but because of how stunning they appear. Essentially, they look like what Disney films should look like. Honestly, Illumination isn't their prime in this film. As it runs, Minions: The Rise of Gru looks like the manifestation of a perfectly flavored ice cream. In this film, everything is so crisp, so detailed, and so well executed that you can tell every frame is a wallpaper first, then a frame of the film. In all honesty, you can pause the movie at any time and someone would think it's a screensaver. Though I wish I had the same reaction to its storyline. Since they don't appear in the more recent films, the whole Vicious Six thing is really insignificant. There's no more power or threat to them than Gru at 11 years old. There's no backstory or depth given to these characters. They're introduced like characters from a Super Smash Bros. Game and then left as is. One name was introduced so fast that it was gone before I could read it. And with these villains, they miss the fact that the characters in Super Smash Bros. Are well known worldwide before they even appear in the game. These antagonists are so one-dimensional, so linear that they need a certain reasoning to justify themselves, especially when they're crafted so unimaginatively. I feel like with more focus on the characters of the movie, the hour and 27 minutes length of the movie could have been extended to 2 hours. I mean, this random biker dude had more character than any of the villains in the film. I mean, I like Nunchuk as well, she's pretty cool, and that Kung Fu lady. The story of Gru's rise and fall is interesting, but is barely explored. It seems redundant since we've seen the character rise and fall through his personal struggles so many times before in the previous films. I wish it was more of a human connection like the earlier films with Gru's children. While Knuckles and Gru's angle is nice and kinda resonant of what I'm talking about, but it's so brief that it's over before we even get used to it. I know I say that every film should have been shorter, but a film like this, I wish it had more of what's done less and less of what's overdone in the previous 4 or however many films we've seen. Gru's mother, for example, never even looks for her son after the first few minutes of the film. Her character is gone, only seen once more and then never again. As a device, I can understand using this to demonstrate Gru's transformation to the dark side due to his lack of attention and love at home, but that's not even projected in the entire film. It's just something you have to connect with on your own. I have always identified with the Minions and am aware of how they differ from the characters in Toy Story or Wall-E. The simple difference is, everything always works out for the Minions. Unlike Disney films that make me cry throughout the entire film, Minions makes me want to cry because I can't help but smile throughout. I don't feel the burden of consequence when I'm watching this film. And thus, a speech about an 11-year-old claiming to be the best villain makes me emotionally content, and these weird alien-like creatures feel more human in their actions than most actors in today's film and television shows. The film is full of amazing action, funny sequences, and numerous mini jokes that I missed, knowing that I will notice them after watching it the second or a third time. But is it something I'll watch over and over again? Probably not, because I feel any animation film should be easy to watch. I'd prefer watching Despicable Me 1 and 2 again over a second viewing of this film, or any other animated film with 100 Easter eggs for some corporation to notice and write about. So to answer the question of how bad or good was Minions: The Rise of Gru, I'd say it was good until that horrible climax of the film. And then it was good again with the Wild Nichols funeral, but that's what it is. Bye.